chapter 2, continuing to text 4. We'll begin now with Jai Radha Madhava. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Braja Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Kunja Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Braja Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Ranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Kalasanji, Radha Kalasanji, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, Shri Radhe. Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Radha Madhava ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Looks like we disconnected. That's funny. It's kind of what the class is about today. Disconnected. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasvatam Vyasyam Tato Jayam Udirayat Naste Prayasha Breshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasuke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. All together. Om Gyantamarandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Nama. So today we're going to be reading from Canto 1, Text 2, Chapter 2, Text 4. We'll get right into it. Should be familiar. We just did this 30 seconds ago. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasvatim Vasyam Tato Jayam Udirayat Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Bolo, please. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devyam Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Shaiva Narotamam Devyam Sarasvatim Vyasam. Good job, Warrior. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Shaiva Narotamam Devyam Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Rajesh, yes. Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devyam Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Translation is, let's do word for word. Why not? It'll be nice. Narayanam, the personality of Godhead. Namakritya, after offering respectful obeisances. Naramcha Eva, and Narayan Rishi. Nara Uttamam, the supermost human being. Devyam, the goddess. Sarasvatim, the mistress of learning. Vyasam, Vyasadev. Tata, thereafter. Jayam, all that is meant for conquering. Udirayat, be announced. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Sarasvati, the goddess of learning, and to Sri Vyasadeva, the author. Please repeat before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest. One should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Sarasvati, the goddess of learning, and to Sri Vyasadeva, the author. Purport. All the Vedic literatures and the Puranas are meant for conquering the darkest region of material existence. The living being is in a state of forgetfulness of his relation with God due to his being overly attracted to material sense gratification from time immemorial. This struggle for existence in the material world is perpetual. It is not possible for him to get out of it by making plans. If he at all wants to conquer this perpetual struggle for existence, he must reestablish his eternal relation with God. And one who wants to adopt such remedial measures must take shelter of literature such as the Vedas and the Puranas. Foolish people say that the Puranas have no connection with the Vedas. However, the Puranas are supplementary explanations of the Vedas intended for different types of men. All men are not equal. There are men who are conducted by the mode of goodness, others who are under the mode of passion, and others who are under the mode of ignorance. The Puranas are so divided that any class of men can take advantage of them by gradually regaining their lost position and get out of the hard struggle for existence. Srila Sutta Goswami shows the way of chanting the Puranas. This may be followed by persons who aspire to be preachers of the Vedic literatures and to the Puranas. Srimad Bhagavatam is a spotless Purana and especially meant for them who desire to get out of material entanglement permanently. Translation one more time. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, and to Mother Sarasvati, the goddess of learning, and to Sri Vyasadeva, the author. Hare Krishna. The darkest of ignorance, right? We sing each time we give class or before we start something, we say Om Agan Timaranda Sa, right? We say that we were born in the darkness of ignorance. And our spiritual master has opened our eyes with a torchlight of knowledge. We heard from Hirdananda Maharaj quite a while ago that actually it's not a torchlight, that it's like a Q-tip, right? That's anointed. Matter of fact, it's interesting because in Christianity, they have also an understanding of being anointed by Jesus through like an anointment, and knowledge or understanding or mercy comes through there. And what is that darkness of ignorance? And it's the darkness of ignorance is that we are thinking that we are separate from Krishna. We're away from the powerhouse, the creator of everything, the maintainer of everything. Bhagavad Gita 10:8. Sarvasya Prabhu. Yeah. I'm the source of all spiritual material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their heart. Right? So we want to be connected to that is the source of everything. And when we're not, we're in great darkness. Right? So we want to be connected to Krishna. But what does that mean? Well, we understand that means to be connected to Krishna means to be like a tool in his hand, right? This laptop right here, for instance, it's a tool. And this tool takes somebody to use it for a certain purpose, right? If there's nobody to use this tool, then it just sits there, right? So similarly, we are a tool. And when we're not connected to Krishna, we're really not doing anything. But wait a bit, Nanda Braja, I'm doing all kinds of stuff, and I see all my friends doing kinds of stuff. However, in the Bhagavad Gita, we understand Krishna is explaining this by saying that in action, there's inaction, and in action, there's action, right? So the illusion is that we are doing some kind of action that is making progress, or we are doing something, or moving forward towards something. But when we're disconnected from Krishna, we're just like a laptop that really has nobody using it properly. We really aren't doing anything. And so in our life, we're really begging to be a tool in the hand of our spiritual master in Krishna. And Sutta Goswami, he knows this, so that is why he's giving this prayer. He's saying, I'm offering my obeisances. And in the same way, we can also understand that he's asking to be used for proper purposes by the Supreme Person, the author Srila Vyasadeva, the goddess of learning, Mother Sarasvati, and to Narayan Rishi. And when we surrender to the fact that we are just a tool and we want to be in the hands of Krishna and our spiritual master, our lives take a great turn. They become amazing, right? For instance, before I go there, so one thing that can be an impediment in our spiritual life is we can get to the understanding, the theoretical understanding that we are a tool, right? That we are meant to be controlled by Krishna. However, we don't know what to do sometimes. What kind of tool am I? Right? Maybe we've done the same things over and over and over, and we've lived life, and so we look at it and go, really, have I done anything? We want to question, what is our life being used for? So we can ask, sometimes, what kind of tool am I? What is my service to Krishna? And so this can be paralyzing sometimes, because we can think that I don't know, However, the wonderful thing that we have is we have the spiritual master, right? And we have instructions by how to get the ball rolling, you could say. And to get the ball rolling, we have sadhana. We have the sadhana that is saying, getting us to a point where we are purifying our intelligence and purifying our mind to understand that we are this tool. Chant Hare Krishna, and over time, we start to say, oh, okay, I can see that I'm not this body. Okay, I am a spirit soul. Okay, and I should be controlled by Krishna, right? And when we get to this point of this desire to serve Krishna, we should be very liberal in the sense of that we should be eager to try. Often we get stopped in our tracks by not even trying. The wonderful thing in Krishna consciousness is that by purifying ourselves and understanding that we are a tool and with the intention to serve Krishna nicely, we can take action with great confidence. Why? Because the result is not what we're looking for. Whether we, quote unquote, fail or whether we succeed, it's all pleasing to Krishna. However, it's very tough to get over this hump of failure. We're taught in material life so much that failure is bad, success is good, right? So, in Krishna consciousness, there's an amazing thing also in our failures, and that our failures, they're not just failures, they're also come with more experience and knowledge, right? We can say, oh, that didn't work so well, but I'm still attracted to working towards this result, and therefore this is Krishna's arrangement that I haven't quite got there yet, so I can readjust. So, an example I can give is right here in the Srimad Bhagavatam. As a matter of fact, right in this story, right here, right in this time of Srimad Bhagavatam, because the sages of Naimisharanya are doing what? They're doing yajna, right? And why are they doing it? Because they want to benefit humanity. This is really good intention. We know Kali Yuga is coming, and we want people to be compassionate. We want to be compassionate to others. But they figure out real quickly that their yajna isn't doing much. Like they say, we're simply just getting dark because of the ashes of our yajna. But what happens? We could say, oh, they're failures. Or we can look at it like this: because of their intention and their willingness to take action on trying to please the Supreme Person, Krishna made another arrangement for him. And what is that arrangement? Here comes Sutta Goswami, right? Oh, Sutta Goswami, we can see very easily that you are meant to be the person speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. You take the Vyasasana and tell us, what are we doing wrong? So this is Krishna consciousness, actually. When we chant Hare Krishna and we start to follow the process that Srila Prabhupada is getting us, we start to have a desire to serve Krishna. We, in the sense of a surrendered soul to Krishna's will. Let me just be a tool. And then we take action, we try, and we get some result. And some of that result might look like quote-unquote failure. But the beautiful thing about Krishna consciousness is Krishna doesn't let us fail. He actually gives us another opportunity to grow on that. And sometimes it will look like in the form of somebody coming and giving us correct instructions, or sometimes it's a purification of our intelligence. Oh, you know what? I could do like this. I could do like that. So why I'm mentioning this is to encourage devotees, to encourage us to take action, to take that mood that we are simply a tool for Krishna, and to take action on trying to figure out what kind of tool we are, not to be scared by failure or even success. I'll be honest with you, sometimes we're afraid of success as devotees. I've met quite a few people that know they have great abilities, and if they are successful, that they'll get a lot of prestige. They'll get a lot of appreciation. And they're even afraid of that, because what will I do with it? Wow, right? But it's the same thing as a person who may fail. We shouldn't be afraid of that success, because Krishna, when we find a success, he's going to teach us how to use it properly, right? And that might come through some tough things. We might get a little puffed up. We might get a little sad when we fail. But if we continue to think, wait a minute, I am the servant of Krishna. I am meant to do some service. I'm meant to take action. And so this is therefore Krishna's arrangement that I'm feeling sad or I'm feeling puffed up, because I can learn from it. I can fine-tune myself as a tool. I have more I can say, I think. I'm pretty sure. But I'll stop right there and ask you, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about being a tool for Krishna and the impediments that get in our way of sometimes being fearful of a success or failure? Have you experienced this in your life? Do you have any things in your life that you would like to mention, or seen in other people's life, or seen in our acharyas or our disciplic succession? Any thoughts? I don't know if we have a mic, but if anybody's willing to grab the mic and say something. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. We're just waiting on a mic for you there in YouTube. And the question was, what do you guys think about this thought of being a tool of Krishna, and that, concerns about impediments and being that tool of fear of failure or success? Or, have you seen that in your life? Have you seen that sometimes you're paralyzed by the concern of failure or success? Or have you met failure or success in your devotional service and used it in a way that it's propelled you to come even closer to Krishna? Or have you seen it in others?
I would like to share something.
Please.
A couple of years ago, when I went through this ordeal, my spinal surgery, I had kind of a short-term realization, I would say, because it lasted only for that particular period. When I was going through it, I thought I deeply took shelter of the holy name when I was in pain. And then I could relate to what Mother Kunti Maharani says, Vipada Santuta Shashvat. So I could relate that to what she said. And as opposed to that, when there is a success, material success I'm talking about, and also spiritually, back in those days when I thought, oh, I'm almost there. I'm almost a pure devotee, and then now I can look back into it and I can see how Prabhupada used to say, in this world, whether it is bad or good, both are bad actually. So Radhanath Swami says, uh, there are prisoners of failures, but there are prisoners of success as well. So if you are not qualified to handle the success, then most probably a person like me would be bound by the success as well. That's my realization. So in any case, the best situation is to take shelter of Krishna. Like in that 10th canto, Lord Brahma says, right?
Thank you so much, Gokulananda Prabhu. A question popped in my head about material success for the devotee. Really, this is one thing that I ponder quite often. Because we understand that material success, the only thing that makes something material is our disconnecting it with Krishna. So when we say material success, are we talking about something that we disconnected with Krishna, or that is separate from Krishna? And so I'm curious if sometimes as devotees we see success as material, but really it's the blessings of Krishna. But we're just not quite there yet, where we see it as something that is not. So we see it as, something separate from Krishna. Any thoughts on that? Mother Tammy.
I know for me, I have a fear of success because I'm afraid that it will come between Krishna and I, it will draw me to the material world and I'll forget to put Krishna first. And then also, as you have pointed out to me, I think there's a fear of I'm not worthy, that I don't deserve success, so, I'm not going to reach for it type thing.
I just kind of threw it out there, that fear of success, but it's kind of interesting that that's comes out more and more. Or it's coming in this conversation, kind of going, yeah. In me, I'm feeling it also. Tulsi.
I actually would like others to help me out. The pastime where, where when things in New Vrindavan weren't going right and Radhanath Swami left New Vrindavan to go to India, so it could be seen like, it was an apparent failure. But then he went on to establish the Chowpatty temple there, and it was such a wonderful project, and we're all still, for eternity reaping the benefits of what Maharaj established in India.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm phrasing it properly.
No, it was a wonderful point.
Yeah.
I remember one of my senior God brothers, Gauranga Prabhu, used to always tell us, never ever think, because those days a particular temple used to be looked up like at its peak. So he used to say, peak is always narrow. It's not a plateau. So he used to give us the example of New Vrindavan, where there would be 900 plus devotees. Imagine, that's a big success.
Sorry. Tulsi, thank you, Tulsi.
Time when sometimes Pujari had to sing the Guru Ashtakam. So practically no devotees. So then I was relating to one lecture where this devotee mentioned how in Vedic, there is one particular book called Hitopanishad. It talks about how the nature of this material world is like the snake ladder game. You have the ladder. I don't know if in Western world you have this game, snake ladder game. So you get the ladder, there is a success, you go up, but lo and behold, there is bound to be a snake ready to devour you. So this snake ladder game keeps going on and on. And Hitopanishad says this game teaches us the reality of the ghastly nature of this material world. So even if we are successful, there is a duality. There is bound to be failure again, and there will be success and there will be failure. So in all the circumstances, we should understand, as Krishna is trying to teach us, ahankara vimudatma. When there is success, if I think foolishly that this is because of me, then I am a fool. And similarly, in the failure, we get totally depressed and we think I'm nothing. There is inferiority complex, and we go into depression. That is also another form of false ego. So ultimately boils down to the ego, the false ego, thinking that I'm something. So in all circumstances, dependence on Krishna, that is the essence.
Yeah. It's the same coin, the two sides of the same coin, right? That our success is us or our failure is us. It's dependent on us. Any other thoughts? He just got here. He hasn't not enough time to acclimate to the conversation.
Hare Krishna, what I was thinking is, bottom line is our practice of, success or failure shouldn't take us away from our practice of Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, we should remain equal posed, right? Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, happiness to stress, success, failure, remain equal posed. This is all for Krishna. Remain in your sadhana, remain in your devotional service, and then success or failure is up to Krishna. Oh, thank you. Mishra Bhagavan, you were going to say something, Prabhu? So, will you put your question on the mic so everybody in the... We hear sometimes that failure is the pillar of success. The most successful people in the world have come to understand that their failures are beneficial because they get to learn from it. You get to ask. When you fail, new questions come. You had some failure or some plateau because you had met a certain spot in your life that you didn't even know what more to ask. So then when we act and we take action and we fail, we get new questions to ask. Okay, well, what happened when this happened, this happened, this happened? So in Krishna consciousness, Srila Prabhupada has encouraged us to be conscious, because you become conscious before you're Krishna conscious. Use our intelligence. So as devotees, when we're going through experiences, these new experiences aren't about failure or success. They're about asking Krishna how to better engage. How do I get better in my service? This failure, I know, is your mercy. Okay, what can I do better to make some adjustments to do that service better? It becomes, it becomes nectar. Me and you were just speaking the other day about that, at the football game, there's 70,000 fans, and whenever there's a touchdown, they score, and everybody goes wild, And if you're in that situation, it feels like, whoa, intense, And so there's this perception that there's some kind of bliss in this world. Okay. So when things are going right, there's this bliss, but in the material world, we don't really have a concept of when stuff is really bad that there's also bliss. When our team loses, do we feel blissful? In the spiritual world, if your team's losing, you feel you feel bliss. You always feel bliss. It's wow, you know. For instance, the cowherd boys are sitting there, and it's wrestling time. Half of them go on one side, and half of them go on the other. One side's cheering for Krishna, and one side's cheering for Sudam, and Krishna loses, and the team that lost is feeling like, more than we can even understand. They're disappointed that Krishna lost. But at the same time, it's completely blissful. That's so what I'm trying to say is, as devotees, we can move towards this, always seeing things as blissful or Krishna's arrangement, when we start seeing that our failures or the impediments or these are Krishna's mercy. When one door shuts, another one opens. Krishna's not doing anything. Krishna's not doing anything against us. He's doing things for us. So if we can start looking at like, I didn't fail. There is no failure. Just Krishna wanted me to make some adjustments. Krishna, or maybe this isn't the thing that Krishna wanted. Sometimes we can go there, you know. So our failures are actually, Krishna's way of communicating with us. And we should be very blissful, very happy. So when we have a failure, we can be like, yes, Krishna, that was your mercy. Now, how do I grow on that, right? See, when we separate it from Krishna, I failed, therefore, it's not, this is bad, this is completely failure, We often will get in that mood, and it stops us from asking questions how to improve. You see what I'm saying? We give up. Oh, I failed. And in that negative mood, it becomes very difficult to see the nectar in it. But if we are very blissful in it and very happy in the sense of by the way, I want to say that sometimes things happen when we're not happy, and sometimes we're sad, and that's okay. I'm not trying to say that. The thing is that if our joy is in our sadness, our bliss is in our sadness, or our happiness, then what happens is we have more facility to move forward in Krishna's service. We actually get more value from the situation when we really see it as Krishna's arrangement. It empowers us to make more movement. So then it becomes, there is failure and success is the same as a devotee. They're the same coin. They're all Krishna's arrangement. It's all his kindness. Give me encouragement to keep going. What do you think, Prabhu? Yes, Gokulananda Prabhu, Manjari Gopika. Yes.
You spoke about failures as a stepping stone to the success. I remembered, because these guys are reading Prabhupada Lilamrita. So when Srila Prabhupada, he was trying his best, and his business, his pharmacy business was going down. That was apparently a material failure. But then look what happened in next few years, right? So that was a big success. So if you look at the real structure of this entire creation, as Krishna says, this is a reflection exactly opposite to what exists in the spiritual world. So the success, which is something which is termed as success in spiritual world, is a failure here. So material success is actually failure from spiritual perspective. But then we also see I remember one sannyasi had mentioned that whenever a person is qualified like Dhruva Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, then Krishna will award the opulence. Unless and until that person has ability to handle the success, Krishna won't give. But when Krishna gives, there is no danger, there is no risk. So I remember back in Mumbai, there was this one devotee by name Radha Giridhari Prabhu. So he made Krishna, after hearing the story of Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, 25-25-50 formula, right? So 25% you give it to your friends, and then 25 to the qualified brahmanas, and 50 you can keep like that. So he decided to make Radha Gopinath as his business partner, 50%. And then that was the turning point.
We need new batteries, unfortunately.
Batteries are down.
No, it's okay.
So if Krishna wants to empower someone, even materially, nothing can stop. And that success, Krishna will award only when he sees he's qualified and that person knows how to engage everything in Krishna's service. Then only he'll empower and he'll give the material success also. He's still, he became such a big businessman, and he's been buying IT companies and selling, and it's growing. Business is growing like anything.
I have a question on the point you just made, Prabhuji, that Krishna gives success when he knows the devotee is ready. But how do we know it's the success given by Krishna, or it's because of our past pious credits, or is it a trick of Maya? So how do we distinguish what kind of success is it?
Mataji, you're a devotee. You're initiated by your Guru Maharaj, who's connected you to Srila Prabhupada in the most wonderful sampradaya opportunity. There's nothing that Krishna is happening to you that isn't Krishna's arrangement. Your karma. So as devotees, we have an understanding of Krishna karma, right? Once we have surrendered to Guru and Krishna, that Krishna is now in charge of your life. So the moment we start playing the game that is this my karma, we start to separate that from Krishna. We start to put us in the center, right? No, it's Krishna. It doesn't matter if it's this. It's Krishna is in charge. So anything that you get is not your karma, it's Krishna's mercy. Now, what are you going to do with it? That is your choice now. But I'll tell you what, you're starting from a bad point from the very beginning if you're trying to think, oh, is this mine or Krishna's or this? You see what I'm saying? If you're separating it from Krishna, you're not giving your opportunity to ask the question in the first place, what do I do with it? If you think this is because of your karma, no good choice is going to come from it. If we think this is from Krishna, what does he want me to do? Whether you succeed or fail is positive. Now you've won. So we can't become Krishna conscious by separating ourselves from Krishna consciousness. We can't start separating that our lives are not the mercy of our Guru and Krishna to move forward in Krishna consciousness. Does that make sense? Say that again? Okay. So your question is, Srila Prabhupada says, we should be fearful of Maya, right? So then what's the other part of the question? So if I'm hearing you correctly, your question is if Srila Prabhupada, who knows that we are in disciplic succession, we are part of our sampradaya, that he knows that we're under the protection of Krishna, why is he telling us to be scared of Maya? Right? There's many different ways we could answer this question. Srila Prabhupada is beyond understanding. And so my thought would be, shouldn't we be scared of the Maya that this is separate from Krishna? That this is my karma? This is not Krishna taking care of me? This is not Krishna's arrangement? This is not my Guru's mercy? This is not, right? Mother Kunti, Queen Kunti, is saying all my negative things that happen, let them happen again and again and again and again and again. Because why? I can think of you, Krishna. At the time, she's not thinking that, when her kids are, her boys are in trouble, she's not necessarily in there. However, through the experience of, in her devotion, her faith, and her confidence that in Krishna, she gets to a point and says, you know what? Let's do it again. So I guess my point would be is, yes, I agree with Srila Prabhupada. Let's be fearful of Maya. Be fearful for that moment that you said, is this separate from Krishna? Is this my karma? Let's get to the point where in that moment we say, this is Krishna's arrangement. He's helping me. This is my Guru's mercy. What do I need to do to move forward? Now, that might be, hey, this isn't positive for my Krishna consciousness. I'm not trying to say that we should just accept everything as best for our Krishna consciousness. But if we accept everything as coming from Krishna, then we can see that he's making an arrangement for us to understand better what is good for our Krishna consciousness and what is not. Does that make sense? It's kind of a swirl, right? This thing happened, and is it my karma? Is it Krishna? Okay, it's Krishna. Krishna, I really would like to use this in your service to understand how to serve you better. Oh, you know what? When this happened, it really wasn't so good for my Krishna consciousness. As a matter of fact, it got me to the point where I'm considering, is this karma? Anyways, this isn't so good for it. And so therefore, you're going to have a better opportunity to use your intelligence, how to move past that, right? Krishna is going to help you to say, hey, let's avoid that situation like this, this, and this. Wow, what a benefit you just got. This thing that happened, I saw it as Krishna's mercy, and Krishna was teaching me how to better do my devotional service. What do you think, Mataji? Would you like to make a comment?
So, Prabhuji, this Krishna's role in our life, which you are mentioning, and I'm still not clear on that part, why we should be still fearful of Maya when you told we are part of the parampara, we are not going to get affected. And also is Krishna's role in our life also depends on how much I'm surrendered to Krishna. So Krishna's role in my life, like you mentioned, like anything, because we are part of this parampara, anything happens is under Krishna's direction. It is arranged by Krishna. So that isn't it true to the extent I'm surrendered to Krishna? If I'm like a pure devotee, I'm fully surrendered to Krishna, then Krishna is in full control. But sometimes I feel like I don't know if I'm at that stage unless something triggers, there's a trigger, and then that's when is the real test where I'm really surrendered to Krishna. So I myself, I'm not qualified to judge whether I'm fully surrendered to Krishna. So then and like I said, the assumption is that to the extent of my surrender, the arrangement in my life is taken care of by Krishna. So when I myself don't know how fully surrendered I am to Krishna, then it's very difficult for somebody to also understand if is this Krishna's or is this pious credits or trick of Maya. You understand from where I'm coming from?
Great question.
Mataji, when your children go against your instructions, do you love them? Do you do whatever you can to continue to help them? Krishna doesn't care if you're surrendered. He loves you the same. So the question isn't, are we completely surrendered? It's, we're trying. You're coming every morning to this temple, chanting your rounds, bringing your children. That's a lot. Okay, in your humility, you understand how far you have to go, right? When we become a little purified, we understand, we get a little glimpse of how amazing Srila Prabhupada is and how amazing Krishna is. And so yes, I understand in your humility, which is very nice. I have so far to go to be completely surrendered. The goal is not to be completely surrendered. The goal is to serve Krishna. He'll take care of it. Act in a way that is best for your service for Krishna. That's our only goal. So what I'm trying to say is what is better for your service of Krishna? To separate something from him and get into a spiral of, is this my karma or they're not done that? Or to say, this is Krishna's arrangement, but what can I do better to serve him? How can I use it in a way? I'm going to go with the latter. I've seen a lot of devotees, and I've seen it in myself, when I start playing the game of this is my karma, why did I do this, why did this happen, it doesn't do, I don't get much out of it, to be honest with you. When I say, you know what, this is Krishna's arrangement. Yes, I made a mistake, but it's Krishna allowing me to make the mistake so that he can empower me to do better, right? So the kid that falls on their bike when they're trying to learn their bike, whose mistake is it? It's their mistake. But they have to get back up and move forward to learn from it. So similarly, as devotees, if we are falling to a sense of making a mistake, it's so that we can ride the bike better, so that we can get better at riding our bike, so that we can get better in our devotional service, which is our Guru's mercy. Is how do we, what do you? We're getting at 37, so this was a long discussion. By the way, I do understand that devotees give us different perspectives of how to look at our karma. And I'm not going to disagree with, of course, with our acharyas that say, this is my karma, but Krishna has been kind enough to lessen it and stuff like that. I understand that perspective. And there's extreme value there. Of course, it's right. It's spoken by our acharyas. But I'd like to also consider this, that if we look at it as Krishna's arrangement, it can empower us more to make movement. What is Krishna telling me? What does my Guru want from me? And then, like Jayahari was saying yesterday, and we know, we can also, when there's confusions, and that we can ask our mentors. We start to ask questions. Hey, this thing happened, and I really feel like it's Krishna's arrangement. However, I'm not so clear on what to learn from it, how to make better my devotional service from it. So then we start to inquire from other devotees. They go, oh, well, you know what? Maybe like this, maybe like this, like this, like this. And then you've actually engaged in Sankirtan, to be honest with you. You started to help people to expand Krishna consciousness, and even if it's yours. Anyways, I'm going to stop there. I hope that was okay. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Pramanande Hari Hari Bo.